Good morning, everyone, and those joining us online. My name is Mariely Blanco. I'm the business tax analyst for the City of Port St. Lucie. With us today is our manager, Yvonne Grayson, also Matt Rousseau. He's our code enforcement. Paulina Chevere, she's our business tax coordinator, and Laura Mayer, business tax specialist. We welcome, thank you so much for coming here today. Today we're gonna start talking about, we're gonna have our business with the Better Business Bureau. That's our workshop for today. This is our second workshop for the year. And we have with us today Gary Mastro. He's coming from SCORE. He's one of our partners. Gary, Mr. Gary, if you want to come.
Well, good morning. I'm with SCORE. For those of you who don't know SCORE, it started years ago with a number of retired executives who wanted to give back to the community. We are now 14,000 volunteers around the United States that represent over 100,000 areas and communities. So we have quite a span of operations, all volunteer-based, and the retire part of it has changed dramatically. We have half of our force are still in business or jobs, but they do want to give back. You should have in front of you one of these trifolds, and I apologize, I didn't come with a slide program. But the first part says free business counseling from people who know their stuff. So we only say that because we've been around. In our local area, which is the Treasure Coast, we've got 40 counselors, we call them, mentors, that have over 1,600 years of man-years of experience in just about any topic one can have a need for. So we're a nonprofit independent resource partner of the Small Business Association. We provide free and confidential business mentoring in person and online. I say free a couple times because that's rare that you get someone who could counsel you, particularly someone who has the experience that our mentors have to help you one-on-one or online or however you and they choose to operate. We also have workshops. We have workshops that run throughout the year. We have workshops that are online, on demand, that you can look at, including things on taxes, but every other part of the business, from startup to growth to exit strategies, and a whole lot of other things in terms of business needs that you may have. We have 350 chapters around the United States, and as I said, 12,000 volunteers that serve, I think I had that wrong, they serve over 1,500 communities throughout the country. And since its founding, SCORE has helped start 14 million businesses, created about 75 million jobs, and have been very influential throughout the country in helping small businesses. Many of you may have thought, you need to go to a consultant or you have to go to a specialist, but that's not really necessary. If you have a need, try SCORE first, and we'll be there to help you. Let me just give you a little bit about our overall numbers. For last year, we served over 150,000 businesses. We had 500,000 businesses attend our workshops, or they were clients of ours. We helped start last year 25,000 new businesses and helped get over 96,000 people employed. The interesting thing about our client base is that over 63% of our clients are women, 47% are minorities, and 9% are veterans. And as I said, we have over 12,000 volunteers. The Treasure Coast score handles the three major counties in the Treasure Coast, but we also handle Okeechobee. We go out to Indiantown. As I said, we have 41 mentors with a grand total of about 1,600 man-years of experience. So our goal is really to help you in your business needs. And that's not just a one-time visit or one-time chat. We have people that work for hours with our mentors to help them decide if their business idea is doable. We will go through financials with you. And again, as I said, everything is confidential. In fact, it's so confidential that we have our people sign a code of ethics that says that they will not share your information. It's, and by law, they could get arrested if they do. So we don't share information about your business to anyone else. That's just not the way it works. And that's why we can get in, look at your financials, try to help you understand if your financials make sense to go into business or if there's more funding that you need. We always say that you should have at least 6 months of living expenses after you've made your investment in a business because you got to live. And too often people throw everything at the business and find themselves, it's not picking up as quick as they want, and they're chasing ghosts, and then all of a sudden they're out of money and they go bankrupt. We try to prevent those things from happening in the beginning. We also do a number of other very unique things here, particularly in St. Lucie County. We're a partner with the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce for the Treasure Coast. We give special workshops for them. We're part of the Women's Foundation of Florida, and that is a huge organization of over 15,000 members that are largely African American and in support of African Americans, women and even girls, getting them prepared to take on responsibilities as they get older. There's some very young and savvy people in that group, a lot of doctors and lawyers and educators and so forth that want to go into business. And while they may know what they know, they don't know about business. So we provide a lot of work, a lot of help for them. And the last one we do is in and around Fort Pierce. There's an organization called Inc.Biz. Inc.Biz is designed to help people in underserved areas in Fort Pierce. And we have workshops, business basics boot camps that we do with them. It's a great thing if you ever want to join any of those organizations to participate, because they have some very good and unique programs, not just ours, but they have their own programs, these organizations. And we're the front end of a lot of that. They work through our program. We kind of set up the needs that they have, and if kind of act as a vetting organization. If the folks don't seem like they really have a plan or really have an idea about what it is to get funding, we will help them along the way. But if it's just not going to work, we're obligated to tell them that. So in many cases, you have to do the tough stuff and just say, you're not ready. Work on this, this, and this, and then come back in 6 months or a year, and we'll see how things go. But it's an awesome service. It's as I said, it's something that volunteers do. People are passionate about what they do and helping others, and the cost is right. So for someone to help you in your business concepts and ideas for free, it's probably the best deal on the block. Does anyone have any questions? Do we have online folks joining us, or no? I just don't know if they have any questions. We good? Yes. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gary. We really appreciate all the work that you guys do as partners, and our city need more people like the services that you guys are providing, so we really appreciate everything that you do. Thank you again. Any questions that you guys may have before I continue? Yes?
My question was, how are we to get in touch with a mentor?
So if you look on the back of the brochures that you have, it says Score Treasure Coast. That gives you the contact information, both an email, a phone number, and you could actually go on our website and look at the mentors that we showcase and select from that. There is another way to do it, and that is to go to, it's not on here, score.org. So it's www.score.org. That's the national website, and search for a particular need that you have. Let's say it's finance, or it's marketing, or it's a business plan. Well, you'll be able to search through those 12,000 people and find what you may have. My recommendation is to look locally first, because if you want to meet one-on-one, frankly, in my opinion, there's nothing better than that, to go through your issues or questions.
Thank you, Mr. Gary. Any other question? Okay, we shall continue. Thank you again for coming. So let's start our presentation with a quote from Walt Disney. He said, "All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them." I love that. And you guys, as studying a small business, how many of you are studying a small business, or everybody? Do you guys have already a business, or this is the first time? First time, okay. So we are dreaming, right? We want to make everything perfect, everything good, and that's why our office, Business Tax Office, is here to help you. We are providing these workshops. We have 7 workshops for the entire year, and the last one in the year will be Spanish. So for those customers, citizens that are watching us via Zoom, we will have a Spanish workshops also this year. So thank you again. And with that, I want to say also that if you do not have a business tax yet, we are giving to you 50% of the application fee, okay? So as soon as you are ready to get your business tax with us, let us know that you attended one of these workshops, and we will give you a 50% off. What are the things that the business give us? Having a business will be freedom, also wealth, financial stability, jobs, and the opportunity to change or for change in your family and community. Business tax, before I came here to business tax, I love the city of Port St. Lucie, and I've seen since 2005, that was the year that I moved here, how fast this city is growing. And I don't know if you guys know this, but we have more than 9,500 business in the city of Port St. Lucie, and we keep growing. Every day we see people like you wanting to start a dream, and it's amazing how we can help you guys from the start to finish. And again, amazing from volunteers like Mr. Gary to provide services that are free in order for you to go further. I just want to do some housekeeping before I proceed. If you have your phones, please silence them and put them in mute. Also, if you have a question, raise your hand. And just know that this workshop is being recorded in case you have family or friends that wants to watch this again, okay? We will be having pretty soon Cynthia Lavin. She's from the Better Business Bureau. So she's gonna be here in about 30 minutes or so. So let's just keep with our workshop for today. Business tax, what are we here for? We can assist you through your business tax application process. If you have a home-based application business or a commercial business, we also provide you with resources and guidance. We give you one-on-one free business consultation. We offer free business workshops just like this one. We gave also informational newsletters, and we continue support from your startup and business expansion. And we also do host home-based business showcases. Things to consider for business tax. Number one will be the reality of being your own boss. Hobby versus business. Profits versus loss of salary. You need to know your business. What type of business do you want to have? Or are you going to start? Short or long term? Are you gonna keep your job or this is just a hobby? Those are things that you need to look at. Business planning. Bad planning accounts for 70% of business failures. So you need to know what is your plan? What should it contain and what is important to have one? Again, where will the business be based? Is that gonna be a commercial business? Is gonna be a home-based business? Is gonna be a virtual business? What type of business are you planning to have? Also, legal structure. Do you want to be in a partnership? Do you want to be your own boss? Those are things that you need to consider. Market research. Before you start a business, do your research. Customers. What type of customers are you planning to do in the area? Competition. What is your competition? What is the need for your product? Did you search the need of your product? Again, customers again, the age. Demographics. What is your demographic? Also, the need for the now and the future. These are the things that you need to consider before you start a business tax. Having a business is a very important decision, and it's something that you cannot have it like right away. It's a lot of things that you need to research before you start your business or your dream. Again, marketing and advertising, social media, word of mouth, promotion, so you need to look at all of that. Also, this is very important, naming your business. You need to, obviously, I don't know if you guys know this, but sunbiz.org, that's the page that you need to go to register your business, sunbiz.org. And one of the things that we always tell the customers when they come to our office, try to get a name that define your business, that people will, as soon as they see that name in the TV or in the social media or whenever you guys do the marketing, it's a catchy name. That's one of the important things because you want people, obviously, to remember by the name, right? To remember you by customer service. That's something very important because customer service is the key to any business, not only business, for everything in life. When you offer good customer service, everything goes a long way. You can have the same business. This one, if they don't provide good customer service, guess what? People are going to come to this one, right? So make sure that customer service and selecting a good name is one of the things that you will do. SWOT analysis. Can you tell me if you know what is a SWOT analysis? Anybody? SWOT? SWOT? No?
Kind of, but
Tell me, what do you think it is, SWOT analysis?
it's reviewing after you set out to proceed, is it?
Who else can, that's good, but who else can give me a definition of SWOT analysis? And if you have not heard of that word, don't worry. Anybody? No, okay. So SWOT analysis will be analyzing what are your strengths. So S is for strength, okay? W is for weaknesses. What are your weaknesses? O is for your opportunities. And T is what are your threats. So I highly recommend you guys to do a SWOT analysis for the business that you are planning to do, because that will help you out tremendously. Again, your strength, the weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Ask yourself the why. Why do you want to start a business? Do you guys know why do you want to start a business? Because if you don't, start asking yourself why. Why do I want this? Remember, starting a business is not an easy task. You need to make sure that you know the why behind it. Also, goal clarity. Again, to be a business, you have to set your goals. What am I trying to achieve? What makes my business different? You also need to list the cost of starting a business, the expenses, and look at the time. Do you have the time for your business? So again, why? Why do I want to start a business? Goal clarity, what is my goal? List the cost of starting a business, and look at the time. And again, the big picture for your business, the SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Now, organization is the key for a small business. And again, name your business. I already gave you this answer, but do you guys remember where will you register your business? What website do I have to go to? Anybody? Yes. Sunbiz.org. That's the first thing before you guys come to our office. That's the first thing that you have to do. Sunbiz.org. Obtain a business domain. If you want to have a business domain, you can visit a domain name register, and they have a couple of examples. Just Google, register domain business, and you will find. If you want to do that, you will find the link for that. Develop a legal structure. That's very important. And again, remember that we have our partners from SCORE, that they can give you guidance in all of this. Sunbiz.org is your first thing. Legal structure, if you have any questions regarding how to start a business, they're here to help you on that. If you want to apply for an EIN, that's with the IRS. But again, if you're the owner of that company, you don't need to have an EIN. You can just use your social as an identification. The EIN is more if you have people working under you. Apply for business tax receipt, that's with us, and also with the county. And again, begin to develop your brand with a website, your logo, your social media, profiles, and business cards. That will be the marketing part. Any questions regarding this slide? Yes. Legal structure.
LLC or sole or...
Yes. If you want to have an LLC or a fictitious name. It's also very important that you check if you need any state license or any permits to have your business. Just for example, let's pretend that you are a therapist, that you go, occupational therapist, that you go mobile to places. You need to make sure that you have your state license with that, right? Before you come to us, again, sunbiz.org, and make sure that you apply to any state licenses. If you have a cleaning company, you don't need a state license for that. If you do handyman work, it depends what type of work you will do. And those are things that we will guide you when you visit our office. We need to know some government regulations, the laws you need to know, obviously labor laws, immigration laws, IRS and Social Security, and Department of Revenue. In all the pamphlets that we gave you, we have the websites for all the states of Florida website that you need to know, okay? Insurance considerations, property insurance, liability, workers' compensation, health, business interruption. Again, this type of insurance, it depends the type of work that you're gonna perform. If you are home-based business, you may not need pretty much any of this. It just depends what type of business you're gonna run. I think Mr. Gary touched up on this one, startup cash needs, essential considerations for a business, tools and equipment, leasehold improvements, licenses and permits, professional fees, initial inventory, and working capital reserve fund. Just remember, to start a business, you need to have, what do we need to have? Money, little capital, right? Just make sure that when you're doing your SWOT analysis, make that in your SWOT analysis. What do I need? We also have operating cash needs. And here again, if you have employees, the salaries that you need to pay them, the rent, if you need to pay insurance, taxes and fees, what you need to pay for advertising, for loan, utilities, and maintenance. And again, this goes more if you have a commercial business, right? Again, if you are trying to do a home business, a lot of these do not apply, but just make sure that you know this in case you want to expand your business. If you have a commercial, if you want to have a commercial business, you need to check with zoning requirements, and that's by going to our planning and zoning department or call the number that is on the screen, 772-871-5213, to see if you meet the planning and zoning criteria. We highly recommend that before you sign a lease, if you do a commercial application, call us. Get an application from us, email us. That way we can get you to the right department, and planning and zoning will review your application, and they will say yes or no to approve your application for the planning and zoning. So don't do any lease, don't sign any lease until you have this part of the business tax application done, okay? Any questions about this section? Planning and zoning? Do you guys understood this part? Yes? Yes, in the back? Okay, thank you. And just in case, I just want to emphasize this part. For commercial applications, it takes a little bit longer, the process, because they need to go the first step to planning and zoning. They need to revise this application. After that, it will go to the building department, and the building department will do an inspection on your location, okay? And then comes to us to business tax, and we can provide a business tax for you. Home base will not require, most of them will not require planning and zoning. But again, that depends the type of business that you're gonna conduct, and for that, our offices are always open for you from 8 to 4:30. Speaking about home-based business, this is working from home. You're gonna be mobile. A lot of people that have landscaping are mobile. Cleaning services are mobile. That's the type of application that they need to do. And it has two things that we need to remind you guys. No changing of the character of the dwelling or no outside appearance, no noise, fumes, odors, or dust. That's the Ordinance 158.217. That is required for home-based business. What are the advantages of home-based business? The advantages are that it's very convenient. It's a convenient work location. You're working from home. It's less expensive, flexible schedule, and tax advantages. How many of you are planning to do home-based? Pretty much all of you, right? Uh-huh. Okay. Commercial located, let's just go over real quick. Like I said before, they may be zoning regulations for that commercial building. Obviously, utilities requirement. All the cars in the parking lot need to be they need to operate and have a current tag displayed. Working outside of bay, not permitted. And again, this is why we go to planning and zoning first, because they will let you know if you can have the type of business that you're applying. Business tax receipt was previously known as occupational license, and now it's a business license. If you live in the city of Port St. Lucie, you need to have two business tax. One is for the city of Port St. Lucie, and the other one is for the county. If you live in county limits, it's only county that you need to go, the office. We always, when you guys come to our office, we always ask you for your address. That way we can determine if you live in city of Port St. Lucie or in the county. And again, if you live in the city of Port St. Lucie, you will have to register with us, and you will have to register with the county. Business tax checklist, again, zombies.org, that's the first thing that you have to do. You also need to give us a complete application, make sure that you sign the application and initial the application, and you send everything, all the licenses, like a driver's license, any state license that your job may require. And in some cases, we will call you, not some cases, but we will call you for payment. The cost of business tax obviously varies, depends the work that you will be performing. It's not the same for a restaurant or for a carpentry. It's different. So depend on the trade that you're doing or the profession is how much your business tax will be. Any questions about the business tax checklist? Yes.
I have a question. I'm registered with business tax and with the county, but I do business outside of the county. Does that affect in any way? Because I do consultations, and I work in West Palm Beach, or I can work in Stewart.
As long as you have the business tax with us, because this is where you live, Port St. Lucie, and obviously the county,
Okay.
you're good.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question? Yes. Yes.
Say, for instance, if you're working in a flea market, not out to in a permanent building like so.
Could you please repeat the question?
Yes.
Oh.
Regarding placement, like you were saying, sometimes people work out of their homes or in a permanent structure that they have to be zoned. But I'm asking, what about those people who are working out of a flea market?
For the flea market, you need to register still with us, with business tax, and also they will ask you for your business tax number. Any other question? Are we good? These are our business tax regulations. All the business tax receipts expire in September 30th of each year. If you start your business tax receipt apply after 1st, will be a prorated tax. Business tax receipt may be renewed anytime after July 1st of each year. That's your window to pay for your business tax for the next year. July 1st until September 30th, that's the window to pay for the following year. Everybody understand that? Yes? Okay. Failure to renew or obtain a tax receipt should result in legal action or financial penalties, unfortunately. We also send you notifications via mail and via email. That way you have a good time to pay those taxes. And again, the cost of the business tax is based on the nature of your business. And business tax receipts are transferable with certain conditions. And business tax name must be registered with www, again, sunbiz.org. Sunbiz.org, I'm gonna emphasize this again, that's the first thing that you have to do, sunbiz.org. Just register your name and everything after that will fall in place. Any other questions about our time renewal? Yes.
So on sunbiz.org, is that where you register with the county?
No, sunbiz.org is when you register your name, the name of your company. That's all is sunbiz.org. You register the name of the company because we cannot register your company in our office, business tax. You need to register first with them, have all the state license that you need if you need them, and then come back to us. Any other question? Yes? If you don't change the trades that you're doing, if you're not adding, it will be the same amount, yes. Oh, okay. He asked us if the business tax will be the same amount every year. That was his question. And my response back to him is like, yes, unless you add more trades to your business tax. Okay? Just remember July 1st to September 30th, that's your window to pay your business tax. After that, you will get penalties. Okay? Penalized. Any other question? Yes.
First, I want to say thank you for this because I didn't know all these things when I started last year, and just getting all this information is truly a blessing. And thank you
Oh my
for what
God,
you guys
thank
are
you.
doing.
Thank you for that, and that's why we do these workshops. We are here, we are servants to the citizens, right? We're here to serve you. And by doing these workshops and giving all the information that you need, we want you guys to succeed in your business.
Yes.
We want you to be the Walt Disney, right? Follow your dreams. And that's our work. So we are, this is a blessing, right? Having you guys here, and hopefully by word of mouth, you tell your friends and family that we're doing these workshops because we want to educate as much as we can. That way you know everything and you can start your business, and your business will bloom.
Yes.
Yes.
And I agree with that. Now, my question is for the business tax. Right now, I'm solo. It's me by myself. But the future plan is to add some employees. So when that happens, does the business tax change?
That depends the type of work that you do, if the employees are W-2 or 1099.
Okay.
So that's something that we can have a one-on-one conversation with you,
Okay.
and we can give you all the steps
Okay.
for that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I wanted to ask you one last time for the business tax. Do we, in order to get I already have mine, but I want to know if later in the future, do we have to live in the city to get a business tax from the county?
Yes. One of and if you move to West Palm, for example, you need to register your business in West Palm. You will need to cancel our business tax, but yes, you have to live in the city to get the City of Port St. Lucie business tax and also the county. And I just want to tell this you guys again. If you live in the county limits, you need to register only with the county. Okay? If it's City of Port St. Lucie, it's both. City of Port St. Lucie first, and then the county. Okay? Any other question? Yes.
In regards to a home-based business, if you need to do alterations like in the room that you have your office or what, that's feasible. You can do that as long as it's not something you're doing outside. I'm trying to understand.
What type of home-based business do you have?
I have gift baskets.
Not for that, because it's just, in your case, it's not required that you get anything from the building department. No,
All right, thank you.
you're welcome. Any other question? This is our website, business tax website, cityofportstlucie.com/business tax. This is where you can find everything. If you have a question, if you don't have the application for home base or commercial, this is the place that you can find them. We also have frequently asked questions. Everything that you need to know about business tax, you will find it here. You can also have, we have a chart that it will tell you the type of business that we have, how many businesses we have, so you can have like an idea, what do we have in Port St. Lucie, okay? How many doctors we have, doctor offices, how many restaurants we have, so things to that nature. And again, cityofpsl.com/business tax. No, but it gives you like a summary. Pretty much, we are updating that pretty much daily, trying to. Oh, Gary asked us if that dashboard changed daily. I'm not sure if it's a daily change, but pretty often we change that. Any other question? Yes. The website is in your, we printed, yes. But again, it's cityofpsl.com/business tax. Any other question? Do we have Cynthia Lavin from the Better Business Bureau? Ah, yay! Okay, well, guys, this is our the end of our part of presentation, business tax. Thank you so much for coming, for listening to our part. We have now Cynthia Lavin, and she has been at the Better Business Bureau serving Southeast Florida and the Caribbean since 2016. She also served as the spokesperson for English and Spanish media for BBB, with multiple appearances on NBC, CBS, Fox, ABC, Telemundo, and Univision. Wow, Cynthia, congratulations. Ms. Lavin also works with community organizations to build strategic partnerships that bring awareness about standards of trust and education for small to medium businesses. Ms. Lavin has presented to various community groups on scams, business risk management, and customer service strategies. She's passionate about organizations that focus on promoting minority businesses. Ms. Lavin previously served as a public relations agent for national brands such as Red Bull, Pollo Tropical, BurgerFi, and Crystal Burgers. During her time representing these brands, she was the official Spanish speaking for all media appearances. Thank you so much, Cynthia, for coming. Yes.
Good morning. Well, it's good to have a small group because we get to interact and talk to one another. And before I start my presentation, because you guys just listened to all the things having to do with taxes and filing your business on Sunbiz, one small tidbit that I would like to let people know, if you haven't filed your business with Sunbiz yet, is important to protect your identity, your privacy. So one thing we advise businesses to do is to get a virtual address if you're working from home. So you can obtain this at UPS, or there's different websites where you can do that at a small cost, but the reason why you do that is because you don't want your home address as public information on Sunbiz. So try to change, if you already did it, try to change all your home address items and filings to a virtual address. And you can pay a certain amount and receive packages and mail at that address instead of your home address, because you want to separate the two. You don't want your home address to be public information unless you're going to be seeing clients at your home and having them meet you there. But that's one tidbit that I always like to tell small businesses, because it's something that not a lot of people talk about, but we like to stress that because there's been issues again with people just having those filings in their home address, and we're all just starting out when it comes to small business. So today we're going to talk a little bit about building brand success. I mean, it's a lot of information. The presentation we had before this one talked a little bit about branding, about everything that you have to do with your business. But I want to stress something that's very important nowadays, which is online presence. And so how many of you just go and do a general Google search when you're looking for a business or before you do business with somebody? Everyone. So if you guys are searching for other businesses, that means that consumers are searching for you guys as well. So nowadays you have to have online presence. Of course, there are some businesses that rely more on online presence than others, but it's important to at least make sure you're listed in all the sites so that people know where you are, where to find you, where to get to call you, where to file a complaint with you of any matter. So it's important to have that because it does build credibility. I know we've all been through this a lot of times, that maybe I'll see a business somewhere, it calls my attention, but I go look them up and I can't find them. And then it stops there. You want to make sure that people know about you and what you do. So that is important. And I know it's overwhelming information, especially when you're starting out. You have to do the business tax. You have to make sure that you have the Sunbiz. You have to make sure you have your licensing in check. But in order to, a lot of people in small businesses always ask for leads, right? They want leads, they want business. But in order to get those leads and get the people to find you, you have to be listed somewhere. So we're going to talk a little bit about what BBB is and being found by customers, claiming your business, and some additional services and the support that BBB provides. So how many of you are familiar with the Better Business Bureau? Okay, so a good portion of you. I'm sure you guys have used it to some degree to either look for businesses or file complaints. We've been around for over 100 years, and that's what we're mostly known for, but we do a lot of things like being out in the community, helping businesses and also helping consumers just kind of connect with each other. So we work with SCORE for webinars. We've worked with SBDC on business training and funding. So we're always working with different organizations to bring businesses together and have them be a little bit more ethical and direct in their approach. So 98% of local consumers use reviews to determine if a local business is good or bad. We already established that you guys always go online to look for a business and learn a little bit more about them. 78% of consumers visit the internet once a week to obtain information on a local business. And 90% of shoppers read online reviews before making a purchase. And this specific statistic is from 2020. I'm pretty sure we're even closer to 100 after the pandemic because, again, people were home just trying to find all these businesses to deliver to them, to help them with different things. People started looking online and using just online services more than ever. So which business types do consumers pay the most attention to reviews for? 84% service area businesses and tradespersons. So that means your landscapers, your HVAC, plumbing, all those kind of services where people are going to be coming into your home and performing some sort of work. A lot of people are into remodels, renovations, pool services. So if you're going to have someone coming into your home, you want to know who that person is going to be or that company that's going to be responsible for those people. 83% will be care services, so babysitters, just any type of elderly care, and then 82% is healthcare, because again, these are services that people are having to deal very closely with people and in delicate situations. And this is statistics by Bright Local. Bright Local does a research of all of the platforms that people use to find businesses online. So how often do consumers search for local businesses online? We already established that about 90%. So this is why it's important to have some sort of online presence. And I can recognize that it can be costly, it can be tedious, it can be overwhelming, but pick at least one. And the one that I advise to have will be Google My Business. If you are gonna go ahead and set something up, set it up with Google My Business, and then grow from there. Work on your Google My Business, and then you can go onto the BBB page, have a free profile, and make sure all the information is updated and current across the board, because that helps businesses find you if all the information is the same. And make sure that the first thing that you do, if you have any change in your business, whether it's your address, your phone number, your name, you update the online information. Because when people look it up, it can be a little bit confusing if you had a name, but you're giving them another one, they're not sure where to find you, and you lose credibility. We have a lot of scammers, especially in Florida. And the BBB is always advising business consumers to do online research before making any contracts or doing business with anyone. So if they're looking at you and they're really not sure what they're seeing, they're going to move on and find somebody else. So take inventory of your online brand if you guys already don't have an online presence. And I know we have a varied types of businesses here. I think I heard you say you were consulting. Who else? What kind of businesses do we have? Home care. I heard baskets. The general HVAC. Okay, so we have a mix. What about you? Okay, so we have a good mix and representation of businesses. For HVAC specifically, I know people look at websites like the BBB, Home Advisor, so all those that talk about home services. Perhaps for consulting, I don't know what kind of consulting. It's interior design, so I actually do go into their homes. Okay, so you go into their homes as well, so that's important. So there, depending on the industry that you're in, there might be some sort of known blog that people consult, or just even your general, as I said, Google My Business is important to have. And Google My Business has, you can post pictures, you can post your operating hours, you can post the hours of your holidays when you're closed, so that people can just look and they see there, okay, this is the information, at least basic information, and it helps with your SEO. So when people look for you, they find you right away with your name. One tip that I can give you is make sure that the names and information is the same across the board. If you're gonna keep up with your Yelp, your BBB profile, your Google My Business, make sure it's spelled correctly, and everything is the same, because the algorithm takes that into account. So if you have lowercase in one and you have uppercase in another, it makes a difference, and it starts recognizing as double profiles. We are Google partners, so we always do Google workshops, and we learn a little bit about how their system works and how it recognizes and codes and indexes businesses. That's why I give you those tips that you can take home and make sure it all looks the same across the board. So we talked a little bit about assessing and planning, reviewing the information and the sites that you have to look at. Again, the notifications. And you can set up to receive emails whenever somebody leaves a review, and you can answer that review, even if it's a positive review. We always recommend that you go ahead and answer and thank the person for taking the time to leave a review, because that lets potential consumers know that you are a person that doesn't shy away. People want to know who is in the front of the business, who they can talk to. So maybe before you just wanted to, maybe back in 20 years, 30 years ago, you just wanted to be a brand. People want to know who's at the face of the brand. They feel better when they can talk to somebody, when they can put that face and they can humanize your business to a degree. So taking action, we talked about the major sites. Again, if you have to pick, just pick one and start from there. I know it can be a little bit overwhelming, but you have Google My Business, you have BBB.org, you have Yelp, you have Home Advisor. I mean, there's different ones. So assess which one is the best for you and grow from there. We advise people to at least try to list themselves in all of them, but I know for small businesses that can be a big task sometimes. So tools and resources, we talk about reputation management. There's a lot of reputation management services, so people that can respond to your reviews and take accountability of that. If there's an issue, they can pass it on to you. Again, as small businesses, we recommend you do that yourself. If you have a negative review, and it's going to happen, I mean, it's just part of being in business. And I know sometimes it can be very frustrating, and we always get asked, well, what do we do when people leave a negative review? Try to handle it as best as possible and with grace. If you're going to respond to a negative review, that response is going to become public. If you get into a back and forth with the consumer, potential customers are going to see that. So if you're frustrated, if you're upset, take a breather, take a step back, and come back to that review. And if it's something that you ultimately want to discuss at length, let the person know, please send me an email to this address, whether it's a general info at or your business email, and we can discuss it further. I have found I'm the one who responds to a lot of the reviews for our BBB profile because we also have a Google My Business. 9 times out of 10, they won't even email you. Sometimes people just want to complain, and you have to let them. Sometimes people are just frustrated. It's not a reflection on you. If it's something that your team let go through the cracks, assess it and move on. One bad review is not going to break you. And as a matter of fact, a lot of consumers look to have, for businesses to have a mix of negative and positive reviews. Because when you see a business that's 5 stars, guess what? There's a lot of businesses paying people overseas to leave reviews. And they're paying their cousin and their friends. And so that doesn't build credibility either. When you have a 4.5, a 4.6, it's like, okay, they're human, so I can deal with this. So just make sure you're always taking care of those reviews. If you have something that doesn't pertain to your business, make sure you flag that and report it so they remove it. Google takes a little bit of time, but they'll remove it eventually. BBB does not post any reviews until they have been verified and we have an actual person look at them. So the review doesn't go up until we make sure that the IP address is not coming from overseas. We make sure there was an actual interaction. Unfortunately, there are people that just go and post reviews because they just want to be malicious. It's not the majority of times, but we recognize it does happen. So we have someone in our operations department always looking at reviews before they go up. So how to engage, make it easy for your consumers to share feedback. One thing we always advise business owners is after an interaction, send them an email or a text message and ask them, please take 1 or 2 minutes to leave me a review. I would really appreciate it and my business depends on it. And don't make it too lengthy. I mean, as we say here, keep the process simple. 3 to 4 questions is all you need. Were you satisfied with the service? Is there anything you would improve? Just leave us a nice comment on Google or BBB or Yelp. There are some business management tools that let you just file reviews in one site. So you can just file different words depending on the site, but you'll do it in one area. That's up to you to see if you want to invest in it. You don't have to. You can copy the links to the reviews and whatever site is most important to you. If you're a person in HVAC, perhaps you want to use BBB and Home Advisor. If you're a person that just has more of a generalized business, maybe you just want to keep it to Google My Business. As long as people are able to find information on you and what others are saying. I'm in the media all the time letting people know, please research your business. Look at the interaction that that business has online and maybe ask a couple friends to recommend you someone. Don't just go off of ads or off of something you see on social media. 87% of people have or are willing to write a review of a business. The majority of people nowadays understand that that's important to businesses, and they'll just take the time to say a few words. And if you provide excellent service, people will want to help you that way. So make sure you always engage with consumers in that arena and let them know, please just take the time to leave me a review. And you can remind them more than once within 5 days after you finalize the interaction. 97% of shoppers who read online reviews from other consumers also read responses from businesses. And this is interesting because it lets them know if I have an issue or something to say, I want to see how that business is going to respond to my issue. As I said before, sometimes people just want to complain about something. And again, if you take the time to say, please send me a private message, a lot of times they won't. They'll just move on and forget they even left you the review. That's just the times we live in now. 84% of consumers are more likely to use a business if they respond to reviews. So again, take some time. You guys are starting out, but the longer you're in business, the more reviews you're going to rack up. So take once a week to just respond. Thank you for leaving me a review. Please remember to continue to use us. And make sure you personalize them a little bit more. You usually have the name of the person leaving the review. It takes you all but a couple of minutes. 51% of consumers having a negative experience are likely to return if they receive a positive personalized response, because that means someone is looking at it. A lot of times you leave reviews for businesses, they don't look at it. How many times you have gone perhaps to a Yelp profile and you see the business has not been claimed? That means they don't care about their online presence. And it gives you a feeling of, if I leave anything, if I say anything, they're not going to take it into account. Consumers want to know they're being heard. And it's important to hear your consumers because it helps you adjust. Your business is going to go through a lot of transformations from the beginning to present time. So at the start, it's really a lot of information. You're trying to manage everything. So it's important to look at the feedback of consumers. What to say? So always respond to reviews, which we already covered. Be positive and professional. Individualize each response and create win-win solutions whenever possible. Again, you may not be able to solve a person's issue through just responding a review, so let them know to write to you privately. And never talk negatively about a customer. We know a lot of times you're going to encounter negative customers, people that are just hard and difficult to deal with. And we know those people, right? They stick out because we have them to them. And you hear the name, you're like, ugh. But don't go online and say all of the things. You have to remain professional. We know you're human, but you have to care about your brand. Your business is your baby, right? So you have to show that you are always professional, no matter when you're losing your cool. So like I said, take a step back, breathe, and then tackle the review. Because if you go right away and say, okay, this person, I'm so tired, then that's when the issues happen, right? And we've seen it time and time again. And then you have to go back and delete, but then how many people already saw that you were saying X, Y, and Z to a consumer? So let the love show, convey the positive professional image of your business. If you attend workshops like these, any networking event, take pictures and post them on your Google My Business. If you have a social media account, post that because people can see, oh, wow, they're active. They're out in the community. I'm a millennial. A lot of times I don't only look at the Google, at the BBB, but I go on their social media. And if I see a business that has a social media platform and they haven't posted since 2020, it gives me a weird feeling, because then I start asking myself, are they still in business? Are they not doing well? Are they active at all? So seeing that the owner is constantly interacting is also part of your online image. No longer is it just a website, and making sure your website is updated and current and has the privacy stuff. It's also where are you? People want to see that. So even if you're here and take a picture with this in the background, it's like, hey, just learning a little bit more. And people see that you're out there learning, educating yourself. People want to know everything nowadays. We live in the era of instant gratification, and where people want to know and see. So it's important to just take pictures and do little things that, okay, let me look at the day. Okay, they posted within the last week, they're active. So social media sites, again, we talked a little bit about social media. Develop a plan. A lot of people will tell you nowadays, you have to be on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. It's overwhelming. Pick one and do it well. Pick the one you think is going to be the most impactful. You're an interior designer. Pictures matter, right? So pick just one of them where you can develop and constantly upkeep and post, and you can put it all over your business cards, your proposals. Just pick one. You don't have to be in all of them. Pick one and do it well. Once that's developed and it runs on its own, then maybe you can consider another one. Perhaps just do one fun social media platform, and LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is going to help you connect with other business professionals. A lot of people on LinkedIn are very open. If you have a question about something, they'll answer it for you. People from SCORE and from other organizations very much work on LinkedIn, so perhaps that's one you want to consider. But again, you are the one. No one knows your business better than you do. I don't know your business. She doesn't know your business. We can try and give you the tools, and you can apply them to what works best for you. So again, I have it here. Identify the sites that work well for your business. Only create a site if you can manage it. And set goals for it. Maybe say, I want to post 2 times a week. And I want to reply to comments or messages. A lot of times, and this is just how people handle themselves nowadays, they'll have your phone number, your address, your email. A lot of times they'll just send you a message on Facebook. It can be frustrating because sometimes you don't see it, but make sure, that's why I want to tell you guys, just pick one site. If you have to go on Facebook and TikTok, and then you're losing focus. So just pick one. Go ahead. Of course.
My question is, I know some social media, I'm not really on social media anymore, but some sites you can post in one and it goes, because a couple of years ago, whenever I posted on Instagram, it would go automatically to my Facebook.
Correct.
So that way, multiple places, like whatever I post is in multiple area. Would you suggest that we connect?
Depends on the kind of content that you're posting. So Facebook owns Instagram, and there's features that you can just post a picture and it automatically goes onto Facebook. If you're doing things like videos, maybe slideshows, it doesn't always translate well. So even for us, we have a platform that just schedules to post across all socials, but sometimes we have to go in manually to adjust. And you can just have an Instagram without having to have a Facebook, or have a Facebook without having to have an Instagram. I mean, it's the one that works more jointly with each other, but Instagram relies still on some of the hashtags, the For You page, chronologically, and Facebook, the interaction is different. So if you're going to have two, then pick those two. Depending on the business, Instagram can be great and Facebook can be great. So it's really for your type of business and Once you have a business page, you can go into the analytics and see the engagement rate. So it gives you just like, okay, this many people saw your post. If you see that it's higher on one and lower in the other one, nurture the one that is the highest engagement. And analytics are pretty easy. It has these three little bars, and you can just go analytics and see how people see your posts, your pictures, whatever it is you posted. And you can do, it's just different because Facebook doesn't change as much anymore, but Instagram is still constantly changing their algorithm and how they function. So measure impact. So that's where analytics is important. Even if you post something small, look, even Google My Business gives you analytics. It gives you the number of views of how many people are looking at your profile. BBB does as well. We track the views, how many people went into your profile or inquired about you. People inquire about businesses even if we don't have them listed on our site. So people sometimes just do a general search, and if they can find you, then we start tracking that, right? So we start recognizing, because a lot of times we just pull data from leads, from events that we go to, but people haven't really opened up a profile with us. And even if people want to file a complaint or a review and you're not on our site, it triggers us opening a traffic file. So we talked about Bright Local, and this is the recent stuff in 2022. 93% of Facebook users are at least a little suspicious of fake reviews on Facebook. So Facebook businesses have reviews, but unfortunately there's a lot of scammy posts about crypto and investments, and they'll just trigger and leave that. So like I said, if you have to pick one that works for you and focus the reviews on the most reputable one, BBB or Google. So 90% of Google users are at least a little suspicious of fake reviews on Google, but just 10% are very suspicious of fake reviews on Google. So we talked a lot about the people that pay others overseas to just leave reviews, right? Better Business Bureau is by far the most trusted review site. Only 29% of its users are fairly or very suspicious of reviews on that site. And why is this? Because we have actual people look at the reviews. And this is for Better Business Bureaus across the country. And the review doesn't automatically go up. We make sure that actual eyes are looking at it. And if something seems off, we go back and talk to the person who left the review. And if ultimately they cannot provide proof of interaction, or if they just don't reply to us, the review doesn't go up. You'll have people say, well, I leave all these reviews, but they don't go up. Do you answer our email verifying that interaction? No, then we're not going to post it. So this is just more statistics. Just surveying. Americans value an A+ BBB rating more than a 5-star rating on Facebook, Google, or Yelp. Again, we have qualified people verifying businesses. BBB accreditation and being a part of BBB is something you can consider. We have a lot of benefits for our members. We're Google partners. You can buy Google ads at a discounted rate. We do networking events for our members. We help our members answer complaints and just maintain that credibility. And also, when your business is attached to BBB, your rating on Google is higher because we have the highest rating on Google. So if your business is Smiley Cleaning, people post Smiley Cleaning BBB. If you're an accredited business, that's going to come up at the top. And that's just organically. Yes. They will be separate. So this gentleman is asking if the BBB reviews and the Google reviews are linked, and the answer is no, they are separate reviews because, again, Google reviews go up right away. Our reviews are checked by a person before they're posted on our site. So the operation is a little bit different. So the advantages of BBB accreditation: BBB is a trusted and known source. The BBB is a national brand, but we operate under a federated system. So there's 96 BBBs across the country, and they work locally. So our BBB services from Vero Beach all the way down to the Keys, and also U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. So we have all those counties that we service. We try to be present in all of the areas. I have Jackie, who's my colleague, and she goes out to all the businesses in the Treasure Coast and Port St. Lucie and goes to all kinds of events. So if you see Jackie and have questions about BBB in general, come up to her. She's very friendly. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, in Miami, in West Palm, and I come up to this area as needed. So we try to be everywhere, engaging with the community, and we just want to help. We have 19,000 reports that are consulted daily by consumers just from Southeast Florida. So people go on our site constantly. We have over 5 million unique visitors that are searching for businesses because they want to know. Unfortunately, we live in an area that is very prone to scams and to people doing the wrong thing. There's a lot of people that start businesses, scam people out of money, close up shop, and start again. And that brings bad reputation to business owners like you that are just trying to start a business and do the right thing. So it's important to align yourself with credibility, with doing the right thing, with making sure everything is by the book. So your business tax, everything that was talked about in the presentation before, that's all important. It seems overwhelming, but take it by step. Okay, I have to do this first. I have to get my address correct. I have to get everything correct. And it doesn't all have to be done at the same time, but like I said, take it step by step. And people see that. I think people see the effort you put in. So you get out what you put in. I think about that in life in general. And same goes for business. The strength of BBB.org often lifts the BBB business profile to the first organic result served in Google searches. So we talked about that already. If the name of your business is searched along with BBB, it's going to come up at the top. That's just how it is organically. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Yes. Yeah. We have the highest organic search result. So once people just search, it's going to come up. We have a. Yes. So the question was, what is the best review site or that the one that's going to come up, correct? My answer is BBB because it's just going to be organic. We are all over, and we have the credibility of over 100 years. We are Google partners. We work with Google, and that's just how it's going to happen. We have that credible seal. Is just means a lot to a lot of people because it's brand recognition. So that's why we come up at the top.
Can I say something? If I have like an issue with a company, the first thing I do is go on the BBB and I check them out and see how many people have had issues. And I rely a lot on reviews. Like it could be Amazon, it could be Yelps or whatever it may be. And like you said previously, I look at the negative and the positive, and I weigh in between.
Correct.
So I thank you for mentioning it's okay to get negative reviews.
Yeah.
Because I can compare, and
Yeah.
people can compare.
Yeah. And you use that power of deduction, right? A lot of times when I look at negative reviews, I see, okay, well, this was an isolated incident or maybe user error, whatever it is. I mean, if you go on and you have 1 star and all negative reviews, well, that's a different story. But I think people just do that gauging of, okay, well, there's 1 bad one, 2 bad ones, but the majority of them are good. So I think at that point, people account for personality in the bad reviews. Again, another advantage of BB accreditation, we talked about the tools, resources, information. We offer the low cost to no term digital marketing support to BBB accredited businesses. And the reason why we mention low cost to no term, a lot of times when you look into getting a marketing plan and go to an agency, whether it's big or small, you have to sign a contract. And marketers, I am a marketer, I'm a communicator by nature. We always advise people do at least 3 months and you can see how those advertising dollars are working for you. But if you do it a month and you don't have money and you didn't like it, you don't feel comfortable, we cancel that and go on your way. We never want to take that from people. We have a person that works with different marketing offerings for businesses, whether it's no-call ads, whether it's Facebook ads. So there's different things that the person or business development team does, and Google Ads is another one. And we do Google training through workshops and different things to help you manage the Google My Business, because we recognize that is very important. BBB shares approximately 700 requests for businesses from consumers with BBB accredited businesses each month. Whenever a business is accredited, we always provide the stats. It's like, this is how many people are looking at your profile, how many people inquired about you, who's looking you up. Our site has the feature that whenever a business is being searched for, there's a pop-up that comes up and asks, do you want to look at accredited businesses or just a mix of both? 90% of people are going to pick accredited businesses. Why? Because accredited businesses go through a process of accreditation. We have a compliance department that looks at everything. It looks at SunBiz. It looks at your licensing. It looks at the principles. If you've had issues and perhaps you're doing credit services or loans, but you've had an issue with the law, all these different things. And if ultimately we find issues, we try to work with the business to solve those issues. If those issues are not resolved or the type of business is very risky, we do not offer them accreditation. So not everybody can be accredited with BBB. There's a lot of types of businesses that we do not accredit because it's just a liability. We cannot guarantee that that's going to be a reputable business. It's just how it is. We provide a network of businesses to collaborate on key projects, charitable causes, and help maintain awareness of scams and bad businesses so consumers spend their money with trustworthy businesses. We work with everyone that's open to working with us. We work with the city of Miami, Miami-Dade County. We work with West Palm. We work here, Port St. Lucie. So we're trying to be everywhere to give resources to you guys. This is just so that the business marketplace is a good one. We want to work with the good businesses. Everybody starts off wanting to do the right thing and just wanting to thrive and have a good business. We want to keep you on that path. So that's why we're out here just talking to everyone that we can. So sign up for your BBB profile. You can scan this code to open up a traffic file with BBB. So just follow the information and we pass it on to the person that opens up traffic files. And at least you will just have a profile with BBB. It's online presence. If you want to consider becoming accredited in the future, we will love to have you, but it's not a pressure for that. It's so that you at least have the right information on BBB. And with enough information, the BBB system automatically assigns a rating if you fill out all the pertinent information. And when you're a new business, that rating tends to be perhaps a little bit lower than you will want to, but the algorithm of our system has to see that you're constantly putting in information, that you've been in business for X number of years, and the rating automatically goes up. So it constantly refreshes. Okay, so don't be discouraged if you sign up and see everything and you have an A-. It's not a reflection of you. That's just how the system works. It's something that a lot of people don't understand about us, and it's one of the things that we struggle with when it comes to misconceptions about our brand. A lot of times people say, well, you pay and then you just get an A+. It's not about that, but when you become interested in becoming accredited, our team starts working with you to find the people who file the complaints, to answer to those complaints, to update your privacy policies, to update your advertising if it has crazy claims. And then once you have fulfilled all of that and you enter all that information in the system, guess what? The algorithm refreshes and it assigns you a different rating. We cannot physically put A+ or A-. We enter data into our system that does all the equations, and then it assigns a rating. And that's something that we always work hard to clear that misconception. It's not that you pay and you get a rating. That's not how it works. And we have had businesses that have been accredited with us for years, and if they stop answering to complaints or reviews or even their mail, we have to kick them out. And we do. We kick 2 out at the beginning of the month. We have our CEO look at the businesses. We have our board look at the businesses. So it's not just me. It's not just one person. Everybody looks at it. And if a business is a little bit sketchy, go back for a review. And sometimes we say, listen, we just can't do that. I'm sorry, we can't accredit you. So that's how we function as a BBB. What other BBBs do, we hope they're doing the right thing. I don't know, but that's how we function down here. If you have any other questions, go ahead. Yeah, so what a traffic, yeah, so I was asked what a traffic profile is for BBB. So it's just a basic profile where you have your information, your business when you started, but all the updated features of being able to put logos and videos and different things is only for accredited business. So a traffic profile for us is just a basic profile, just where you have presence and where the system assigns you a rating. But you cannot add anything more than that. You're welcome. Any other questions? Yes?
Actually, not a question. The QR code is not working.
It's not working?
So it's given a message that the campaign has been disabled for some reason.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I will give you my email and I can send you the code so that you sign up for a traffic file. Yeah.
In the BBB bags that you all have is Cynthia's information.
Okay.
As well as mine. So any questions or any concerns that you have, you got our.
You could just send me a quick email, and then for the people that we have on the computer, I don't know if we can just put my email and they can ask me and just, I'll send them the link. I mean, these things should be working, but sometimes my tech guys will just disable. Any other questions? Go ahead.
My question is in regards to the address.
Mhm.
So if I understand correctly, you said that it's better to have a virtual address than your home
Correct.
address. So how do we go about, do we go directly to Sunbiz and change it there, or how do we do it?
Well, the virtual address is a private service, so there's different providers. You can search one on Google. The one I know that's been doing it the longest is UPS. So you can go to a UPS and tell them that you want, I think they call it business service address, and they'll receive packages for you. They'll receive the mail for you. And once they assign that physical address, not a P.O. box, a physical address, then you can go on Sunbiz and file to change your address.
So I will change it on Sundays and I have to change it for the tax, business tax, everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, you will have to update it. So if you just want to receive the mail at that virtual address that you are buying or paying for, you have to change it across the board. It's something that we recommend just because when you have a home business, not everybody wants their physical address out there. And if you're moving, it's also something that works for you because you can constantly pay the UPS address and it'll be the same one. If you're moving, well, that changes. So you're welcome. Anything else? I know you had a question, I think. It was about the virtual address. Okay.
I also had a comment regarding the Google My Business. It's Google My Business is no longer available to us. I'm not sure about for BBB, but it's not available to us anymore as a standalone application or program. They've changed it so that we have to use Google Maps to monitor your business. They don't give it, they don't allow us to use the app anymore.
What kind of business do you have?
It's a service business. It's a repairing service.
Okay, if I remember correctly, the way that you can do now is just provide the service areas too. If you are you a mobile business, like do you go to different? I think that's probably why you two are having issues with that because I think you have to look into the service areas. But send me an email and we can talk a little bit about it because I can talk to our Google rep about how to fix that or circumvent that for you guys.
It did say that you can now monitor the business, you could, have reviews done, everything will be done through the Google Maps.
Through the Google Maps app.
So you'll do everything that you normally do.
And the interface has changed a little bit too because even for Google My Business you had like one separate site and now it has to be kind of on the Google site. So it's also their changes, but we can talk a little bit more about it. Yeah. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Well, as Jackie said, my information is in the bags that she provided. Feel free to send me an email. I mean, I'm always open for conversation. If I do not know the answer, I will pass you on to somebody that does on our team. We have business success reps that help you with information about ads, about Google. So if I don't have the answer, I'll direct you to someone that can.
I found Jackie's business card, but I have not found any information.
I'll make sure you have it because I do have some with me if she didn't put it in. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for your time, for your interaction. I do appreciate. I apologize for the issue with the QR code, but again, feel free to talk to me. My door is always open. Shoot me an email if you have any questions or something you can think about. We're always here to help. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cynthia. And with this, if you guys don't have more questions, I want to, yes, go ahead.
As far as the EIN is concerned, is it if it's a sole proprietor, you don't need
You don't need it, no. Okay. Any other question? No? I want to, before we go, I want to finish our workshop with a quote. We start with Walt Disney, but we're going to finish with Dwayne Johnson now. And the quote is, "Success isn't overnight. It's when every day you get a little better than the day before. It all adds up." So with that quote, I want to thank your participation in this workshop. I want to remind you that we still have 4 more to go. The next one is on March 14th at 10 a.m. and is a guide for getting your business online and is presented by ClearSam Solutions and Tangible Personal Property Tax presented by San Lucie County Property Appraiser Office. That's gonna be March 14th at 10 a.m. Thank you so much for coming. And any other questions or comment that you want to do before we go? Yes. Oh, the Walt Disney one? Okay, the Walt Disney one was all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. And that was Walt Disney. So thank you so much again for coming. We are here for you. Business Tax Office, we are here to serve you. Thank you again. Have a good one.